my dear students, welcome to Teacher at Home. Today class we are going to learn the sixth chapter, Economic Growth and Economic Development. We have already discussed economy. Have you noticed the changes that happen in an economy? One of the noticeable changes is an increase in the agricultural output of the country. Likewise, other changes can also be found. Growth in construction sector, increase in industrial output. Above mentioned changes indicate economic growth. Economic growth. An increase in the production of goods and services in an economy is called economic growth. Increase in the output of goods and services implies an increase in the national income of a country. In short, economic growth means an increase in the total output of a country compared to that of the previous year. Let us see an example of economic growth. Assume that the production of paddy during 2016-2017 was 100 quintals. In the year 2017-18, the production of paddy increased to 110 quintals. It can be seen that there have been an increase of 10% in the production of paddy during 2017-18 compared to the previous year. This indicates economic growth. With economic growth, the country's capacity to fill the needs of the people also increases. Let us observe the following chart and understand how economic growth takes place. Increase in industrial production, increase in agriculture production, growth in the service sector, increase in purchasing power. It is generally believed that the progress in the production sector creates more employment opportunities in a country. The income earned by the workers through employment increases their purchasing power. This improves the standard of living of the workers. Economic growth rate. We have learned about economic growth. Now, let us see how economic growth can be calculated. A measure called economic growth rate is used for this. Economic growth is calculated on the basis of increase in national income. Economic growth rate is the rate of increase in the national income during the current year as compared to the previous year. Economic development. It cannot be claimed that economic growth alone improves the standard of living of the people. For an improvement in the standard of living, several other living conditions should be made available along with an increase in national income. What could be they? Availability of nutritious food for all, better healthcare facilities for all, educational facilities for all, availability of clean water for all. When improved living conditions are available to all, the standard of living of the people improves. Economic development takes place when the standard of living improves with economic growth. A country is said to have attained economic development when there is economic growth and the benefit of which is accessible to all. Economic development is equal to economic growth plus better standard of living. National income increased. Production of wheat increased to 150 crore tons. National highways were developed into 4 lines. Skill training was provided to the laborers. Implemented modern facility in the health sector. Basic facilities of education institutions were improved. We have learned that economic growth and economic development are interrelated concepts. At the same time, there are some differences between the two. Some of the differences are given in the table. Economic growth. Increase in income and production. Improvement in the quality of life. Measurement in terms of increase in national income, measured in terms of various indices such as physical quantity of index, life index, human development index, etc. Quantitative measure, qualitative measure. Emphasis is purely on the economic factors. Emphasis on social economic factors. Growth happens in a short term. Economic development happens over a long period of time. Development indices. Countries are classified into developed and developing nations. What is the basis of this classification? How can we identify whether a country has developed? There are certain recognized indices used to measure and assess economic development. Some of the important development indices can be identified from the chart below. Development indices. Per capita income, physical quantity of life index, human development index, human happiness index. Per capita income. Among development indices, per capita income was considered the simplest and was popularly used in the past. This is a conventional index of development. Per capita income is calculated by dividing the national income by population. As per the index, 2 aspects must be analyzed in order to find out whether a nation has achieved economic development. Growth rate of national income, population growth rate. Per capita income increases only when the growth rate of national income is more than the population growth rate. Increase in per capita income is an index of development. Per capita income helps in assessing the economic growth of a country as compared to the previous year. It's also useful in comparing the economic growth of different countries. Per capita income as a development index has certain limitations. Per capita income is an average income. For example, assume that the per capita income of a country is rupees 40,000. This does not mean that each individual of the country receives an income of rupees 40,000. It includes the population earning crores of rupees as well as those with low income. So this is merely a numerical calculation. While calculating economic development on the basis of per capita income, it cannot be claimed that improvement in the quality of living has been attained if the rich-poor disparity persists. Per capita income as a development index ignores factors like education, availability of nutritious food, healthcare facilities that improve the quality of living. Concerned only with economic growth, per capita income as a development index does not take into account social welfare and equitable distribution of income. Physical Quantity of Life Index (PQLI). Physical Quality of Life Index came into use in 1979 when an index more scientific than per capita income was found necessary. Instead of using per capita income as a single criteria for development, Physical Quantity of Life Index take into consideration the following three factors: life expectancy, infant mortality rate, basic literacy. Physical Quantity of Life Index views development in a different perspective. Increase in healthcare facility lead to a better standard of living, economic development. Introduction of new educational facilities improves quality of education and standard of living. Though the Physical Quantity of Life Index is a better measure of economic development than the per capita income, the fact that it ignores per capita income is a major limitation. Human Development Index (HDI). The Human Development Index is based on human development. Let us see how human development has been defined by the United Nations Development Programme (UNDP). Human development is the expansion process of opportunities that helps the people to improve their human resource. There are various factors that help in attaining human development. Improved education facilities, better healthcare facilities, increased training. All the above mentioned factors contribute to human development. Attainment of human development helps in economic development. Better education facilities, increase in the number of people receiving education, increase in development opportunities to educated people, increase in income and purchasing power, better standard of living. Human Development Index is prepared on the basis of the three main components: per capita income, literacy, and gross school enrollment rate. Life expectancy. The value of Human Development Index lies between 0 and 1. While 0 indicates least development, 1 depicts the highest level of development. On the basis of the value of Human Development Index, countries are classified into three. Human Development Values Index values category: 0.8 to 1, high human development; 0.7 to 0.799, high human development; 0.550 to 0.699, medium human development; 0.550 and below, low human development. It is the United Nations Development Programme that prepares and publishes Human Development Index by classifying the countries on the basis of their values. Every year since 1990, the UNDP publishes the Human Development Report. India 0.624, Haiti 0.493, Japan 0.903, Mali 0.442, Norway 0.949, Sri Lanka 0.766, Brazil 0.754, Bangladesh 0.579. The Human Poverty Index was developed by the United Nations Organization, complementary to the Human Development Index. Its first report was published in 1997. Human Poverty Index is calculated on the basis of three components: their longevity, knowledge, and a decent standard of living. Human Happiness Index. Apart from the above mentioned development indices, United Nations organization has organized the Human Happiness Index as well. This index was originally developed by Bhutan and was later recognized by the United Nations organization UNO. 9 indicators are considered for the calculation of Human Happiness Index. They are as follows: health, standard of living, conservation of nature and biodiversity, social life and neighbor relations, good governance, cultural diversity, education, effective use of time, mental health. India ranks 133 among the world nations in the Human Happiness Index 2018. The countries that rank first, second, and third are Finland, Norway, Denmark, respectively. Challenges faced by development in India. Development in India faces several challenges. Among them, the most important is poverty. According to the Rangarajan panel report prepared for the Planning Commission of India, in 2011-12, 29.5% of people were poor. Apart from poverty, there exist other problems like illiteracy, malnutrition, economic inequality, death by starvation, unemployment in developing and developed countries. Poverty in India. In India, poverty is measured on the basis of caloric intake. Rural areas in the income is not sufficient to purchase food supplying 2400 calories per day. A person is said to be poor. In urban areas, this is 2100 calories. In India, states such as Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Uttarakhand, Chhattisgarh, Orissa have more than 35% of population living in poverty. Unemployment is another challenge faced by India. For more than 20 years, the trend seen in spite of an economic growth rate of 8 to 9%, the employment growth rate still remained 1% or less. This means that economic growth of 8 to 9% does not create employment opportunities. Another challenge faced by development is the problem of inequality. There are three types of inequality: economic inequality, inequality in income, regional inequality. All this type of harsh inequality prevail in India. Economic inequality is measured on the basis of the share of the people in total wealth of the country. Inequality in income, on the other hand, is based on the people's share in the income generated in a nation. Regional inequality is the third type of inequality. For example, majority of the population in metropolitan cities have access to employment, better hospitals, good roads, clean drinking water, transport systems, school, colleges, industries. But certain rural areas in states like Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, Odisha lack these facilities. In those regions, there exists death by starvation, unemployment, lack of good roads and telecommunication facilities. Regional inequality signifies such a disparity in development among different regions. Sustainable development. We understood that the main goal of any economy is economic development. As a result of economic development, many changes take place around us. Good transportation facility, rapid urbanization, increase in industrial unit. It is clear that such changes improve the standard of living of people and economic condition of nations. However, the greed of human beings remains. It leads to overexploitation of resources, degradation of nature. Observe the picture that depicts some ill effects of urbanization and commercialization of agriculture. In the quest for economic growth, human intervention often results in the depletion of natural resources and degradation of environment. In order to construct buildings and roads, quarries are made and hills are leveled. This adversely affects the human life and local weather condition. Though this activity leads to economic growth, create problems for certain sections of the society. What we require is a human development approach, what does not impact the environment. In other words, we need sustainable development. The Brundtland Commission, appointed by the United Nations organization, has defined sustainable development as development which meets the need of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own need. The view ensures social justice while utilizing the natural resources. Essence of this concept is the natural resources are not to be enjoyed by one generation alone. Future generation too has the right to use them. Sustainable development has three main goals: environment goals, economic goals and social goals. Observe the environment around you. and identify the activities that challenge sustainable development. Add more points to the following list. Reclamation of paddy fields, intensive use of pesticides, polluting and wasting clean water. All the above activities hammer sustainable development. Can you make a few suggestions for economic development that ensure availability of natural resources for future generations as well? That is the rainwater harvesting. So that's all about this chapter. If you are interested, please do like, share and subscribe my channel. Okay, thank you.